Hello and welcome to 3 TV. I am Vishakha Thakur.
And I'm Ruchi Sharma. A lot happened in the world of digital assets this week, and we are breaking it all down for you. So let's get started.
So experts including Plume CEO Chris Yen predict the real-world asset market could surge from its current value of $35 billion in 2025 to potentially trillions by 2030. And keeping up with this trend in India, an Indian Member of Parliament, Raghav, Chadha, on Tuesday proposed the introduction of an asset tokenization bill, calling it a step towards democratizing access to high-value investments.
So speaking in Parliament, Chadha said blockchain-based tokenization could make investments as inclusive as digital payments became after UPI.
And he also highlighted how middle-class investors are currently limited to savings accounts, mutual funds, and fixed deposits, with real estate and infrastructure projects remaining largely inaccessible.
He also said asset tokenization could allow people to own fractional shares in real estate, infrastructure, commodities, and intellectual property through blockchain-based digital tokens.
Now, simultaneously, Coinbase has received approval from India's competition regulator to acquire a minority stake in CoinDCX, marking a significant step in its renewed India strategy.
The Competition Commission of India cleared Coinbase Global's investment in DCX Global Limited, the operator of the CoinDCX platform.
And Coinbase Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal said the approval deepens a long-term partnership with one of India's most trusted crypto exchanges.
So the size of the stake was not disclosed. The decision highlights rising global interest in India's rapidly expanding digital asset market for institutional investors and policymakers.
Now, meanwhile, Strategy has added 10,645 Bitcoin to its balance sheet, spending around $980.3 million between December 8 and December 14.
So the company paid an average price of $92,098 per BTC, taking its total holdings to 671,268 Bitcoin, valued at over $60 billion at current market prices.
Also, the purchase was funded mainly through the sale of common shares along with proceeds from preferred stock offerings.
This marks the second consecutive week in which Strategy has spent close to $1 billion on Bitcoin, reinforcing its long-term accumulation strategy.
Moreover, BitMine has acquired approximately $140.58 million worth of Ethereum in its latest accumulation move, according to on-chain data.
The purchase, executed via institutional prime broker FalconX, involved nearly 48,000 Ether allocated across two newly created wallets.
Well, this transaction adds to BitMine's growing Ethereum Treasury, which now stands near 3.97 million ETH.
In another important update, American Bitcoin has overtaken ProCap Financial in the corporate Bitcoin holdings ranking after adding more than 1,000 BTC since the start of December.
So the company now holds around 5,044 Bitcoin, valued at approximately $443 million based on current prices.
So the development highlights sustained interest among corporate treasuries in accumulating Bitcoin as a long-term strategic asset, even amid short-term market fluctuations.
Meanwhile, El Salvador's Bitcoin reserves have crossed 7,500 Bitcoin, valued at over $670 million, according to data from the country's National Bitcoin Office.
The government continues its policy of adding one Bitcoin daily, regardless of market conditions. Bitcoin was trading near $89,300 at the time of reporting, showing recent volatility.
Well, questions remain over how the reserve buildup aligns with country's agreement with the International Monetary Fund.
Alongside accumulation, El Salvador is expanding Bitcoin use in education, payments, and financial inclusion initiatives.
Simultaneously, Ethereum developers are preparing to raise the network's gas limit from 60 million to 80 million in January, potentially increasing the transaction throughput.
The plan was discussed during a recent all-core developers meeting, according to Galaxy Digital researcher Christine Kim.
Well, raising the gas limit allows more transactions and smart contract operations per block, improving capacity while keeping fees manageable.
The developers cautioned that certain client-level optimizations must be completed before implementation.
So the change follows earlier upgrade that significantly expanded Ethereum's data handling and scalability this year.
Moreover, crypto treasury companies could face up to $15 billion in forced selling if MSCI proceeds with plans to exclude them from major equity indexes.
Well, advocacy group Bitcoin for Corporations estimates potential outflows between $10 billion and $15 billion based on affected companies' market cap.
Analysts warn that large outflows could add selling pressure to crypto markets already experiencing prolonged weakness.
So the proposal has drawn criticism from Treasury firms which argue that balance sheet composition alone should not determine index eligibility or long-term investor access.
Well, that's all in this episode of the Weekly Wrap. This is me, Ruchi Sharma, signing off.
And this is me, Vishakha Thakur, signing off. For more such updates, do log on to our website www.tweeversetv.com or scan the QR code. Have a great weekend.